What's up, everybody? Back again, Warp Charge Gaming Live. James, you jumped on just in time, buddy. This is episode 111, and I'm at Battlegrounds. Chris there to the left is, well, to the right of me and left of this. That's Chris, and he's in Tennessee, and that's James.
Yo.
Yeah, and here's the 111th time we've gotten together. And it's special times because this Saturday, 9th edition, we've been talking about 9th edition Warhammer 40K for the last few months as GW slowly trickled the rules out to us. But you know, and then our friends from overseas have been giving us pictures of their rule books and things. And we've been getting games on. I mean, we've been streaming 9th edition games. Luckily, with our wonderful partnership with Battlegrounds, we've gotten to see the store copy and gotten to stream some games. We have a tournament league going on that's been having tournament matches be filmed. And that basically I'm just rambling about all the stuff that's going on because that's what we're going to talk about more in depth tonight. And like we do each week. Stuff that's happening in Warp Charge, tournament scene, ITC, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Warcry, and Infinity are all things we're passionate about. But it's been a lot of 9th edition. Yeah, we're having to do a crazy COVID tournament league. You can see a nice mask there, Chris. It's good.
It was on the table.
You can't infect us through here, man, but it's cool.
Wow.
Safety first. I shaved my mustache off because apparently mustaches collect COVID, I've heard.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, well, I just shaved it off because my wife likes it, but I did do it. It is a double benefit, maybe.
I've been doing the opposite. I've not been going out, so the facial hair has been growing. But I don't very much grow facial hair.
That's true. I get a bushy thing going on. Yeah, big bush. So, you know what's cool? Playing games. And I've been playing some, dude. It's been awesome. Have you guys gotten to play any games? Chris, I know you've been lacking the ability to.
Zero. My last game was with you, George.
Oh, that's fucked. All right, James.
That's forever ago.
Moving on. That's so sad.
I have not played a game, but I'm going to watch a game of 9th edition on Saturday.
Okay. I don't know if, you know, guys, I have put up some 9th edition bat reps. I don't know if you got a chance to catch any of them. They've been pretty interesting.
I'm in live, in person, where I can take someone's model and run away with it and laugh.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, that's totally cool. Well, it has been some fun times. Just yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I played Austin from Team Battle Brothers. That was pretty awesome. He was I was trying to take him out. You know, we're in this tournament league. We actually have the 7th pod that is now active now. 6 pods are running. 5, one of them has already been, Austin has taken a victory. So he's the first pod winner, the first finalist to go into the finals there. I see James Sheets out there. What's up, gang? What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. James, James Sheets. I wonder if has our buddy James Sheets gotten to read much of the 9th edition rule set, and are we excited for it? You know, there's so many mixed emotions out there. One thing I posted this past week is now that more and more eyeballs have seen the points changes from chapter approved and whatnot, there's a lot of Tyranid memes. Chris, I know you've seen some.
So many. And
I gotta find some. I gotta pull some.
I'm not even mad. I've been enjoying all of the positive and negative. I'm glad to see some emotion re-injected into the game. You know what I mean?
Fair. There's definitely been that, I would say. And I'd say Tyranid players are one of the more emotional ones when it comes to positives or negatives. These are actually some thumbnails that I saw. Posted them up. We got 9th edition, Tyranids nerfed, ? From Tactical Tortoise. 9th edition, all point change reviewed. What will be good in Warhammer 9th? And then this one, do Tyranids suck? I thought that was pretty funny. Those are pretty straight up headlines there. But yeah, there's definitely some obvious winners, and there's some folks that are maybe not as happy. And my first impressions have been that a lot of my opinions that I had developed before playing have molded and changed a little bit, I gotta say. You know, my first instinct that I was really worried about combat, to the point of like me and James on one of the episodes a couple times back where it looked like we had sour fucking lemons in our mouth, ooh, I don't like it, ugh. It's because, you know, the coherency, horde play, we love conga lining units, and, you know, mainly it's a huge thing to not be able to multi-charge, or, you know, if you don't successfully make it to all the targets, then the charge fails, right?
Yeah.
That thing's scary.
So it's very much more like charging one thing and dealing with things one at a time for the most part.
Yeah, I have that. I'd say that's a rule that comes up in almost every game as a close combat guy. So far, I've only brought close combat armies in 9th. But I have found it to be very rewarding. The terrain, guys, another big deal with just today is, this weekend is the release. Indominus is hitting the shelves, and everybody's going to get their hands on the books, and it's happening, right?
Who's in that box?
What's in the box, you say?
Yeah, what's in that box?
I actually just put a picture up on the screen just because you said that, Chris. I timed it. You segued. We set up suite. My buddy Dan here at Battlegrounds, he painted up the Indominus set. Already got some nice basing on there and shit. We didn't get the new Necron green on there yet, but it's still popping just because he's a good painter. But yeah, we got all the new stuff here in the store, and it's basically 1,000 points per side, roughly, approximately, of Necrons and Space Marines. It is a huge deal, but you know what's less of a good deal, dude? Is how much the core rulebook is not as relevant as I expected. That for anybody who doesn't care about narrative play, like if you want to look at pretty pictures, read fluff, and care about Crusade rules and shit, then you're gonna want the core rulebook. But for us tournament players who don't necessarily care about any of that, you're going to have to buy chapter approved, and it's pretty much a core rulebook handbook. It's like meant to be your tournament handbook. It's just look at this. I don't know if you can see my camera on, but this book is small as shit. It's this really tiny little pocket guide style, and it pretty much has. I have here in my hands chapter approved, by the way, if you guys want to know anything particular. It's exciting. But the book has it's pretty much a copy paste of the core rulebook. So
nice.
So it's nice. It's because it's very annoying how you have to flip through the big ass core rulebook. Like that is not a convenient thing. It's like, God, give me the digital book now. It's not fun to have as a companion at the table, especially trying to find some nitty gritty thing. Even though I appreciate their glossary section, that's pretty good. I realize we lost James. Hopefully he's gonna jump back in. But
got a positive comment on our jazzy piano music.
Oh, the jazzy piano music's working out. I like the jazzy piano. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I like it too. Yeah, it says Friday Jazz, positive morning. Oh, I pulled it up to show him. Cool, nice. Look at that coffee cup. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. I should take these comments and move them over here. All right, so friends. I forgot what I was talking about, Chris. That the book.
The book. It's small. It's compact. It's concise. It's your guide to playing competitive 40K.
Yeah, but all the rules.
Through the rule book.
All
you don't
the rules.
need any of that garbage.
Yeah, they're just in this one thing. So like, we were thinking that the Indominus box was like super valuable, but like really, you're not even gonna care about that because the rule book was a part of the value. But no one needs to buy the Indominus box or even the core rule book. All they gotta buy is chapter approved, and you have everything you need to play the game. The only thing you don't have is like Crusade rules and like, some narrative shit.
I am interested in the Crusade thing for my own personal gaming, not because Tyranids suck or anything, but knowing that the matched playbook basically is your field guide. That's good information. I think a lot of people that especially the books aren't in people's hands until this weekend. That may guide some people's purchases.
Yeah, I was really surprised, honestly, and I was a little disappointed at the same time because I was expecting to get more from the books, and really it was just what we already had. Particularly, and this is what I would rant a little bit about on this episode, is I'm really curious about what's going to happen next because the terrain, man. The terrain is so crazy. It's so fundamental to how that's one of the biggest like mind openers of strategic reserves and how much you can deliver your army across the board because of how powerful obstruction is, right?
I feel like what I've heard from the Whispers, George, and you have more information than I have, but maybe you can, assuage some of my questions. It feels like based off what we've seen from the match play rules, we still don't have a lot of clarity on what is going to be the norm for tournaments in terms of terrain.
That's exactly right. See, that's what I was praying. It's called the Grand Tournament Package, and that Grand Tournament book, it's like a beautiful terrain or a beautiful tournament packet. It pretty much has all the rules, all the rare rules that are in the back. It's the whole rule book in a condensed format. and all the terrain rules, but it's no additional rules. It doesn't tell you how much terrain is supposed to be on a table besides just like every 1 foot by 1 foot. They don't tell you the platform size of a standard piece of woods, the platform size of a standard ruin, how many ruins go on the board. And here's the thing that came up in today's game, dude, is I didn't they don't tell you that you can't, apparently you can't put it on an objective, which I haven't actually seen that, but I saw that alluded to in an article. But I have not seen anywhere where you can't put it on the board edge. You can't put terrain side by side. There's nothing restricting you from putting terrain right next to each other.
You can make a terrain wall?
Yeah. And like if you put terrain in such a way, like knights and soul grinders and tanks, they won't be able to go around them around a particular edge of the board. And that can be
Not
really...
just that.
Yeah.
But Cow will have a large shooting field if they want it.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, one thing, like, I'm about to play, check this list out. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. I'm excited about this new ninth list I just put together. It's like a list I've been playing on TTS with the 3 Lords of Skull, but 2 Lords of Skull and a Soul Grinder, or a Brass Scorpion. Still has the Disco, it's Iron Warriors, Brass, the Crimson Crown, and the Demon Smith Warlord trait. It's cool. 2 battalions and a super heavy detachment. Seems fun. It's going to be nasty, but if somebody blocks me out, if there's no restriction to how close terrain can be, I might not be able to see anything, and everybody can see me because I have 18 wounds or more, and I have no way to get around the terrain. That's another thing that, Goonhammer has done a great terrain article. What up? Yeah, that is a pretty scorpion. James Sheets out there watching. He painted that scorpion up. I love that thing, buddy. But yeah, that's the other thing too is I'm going to pull this up as well, man. This Goonhammer article. Chris, are you able to see the YouTube simultaneously here or not?
I am looking at the YouTube, but I am on a slight delay as a heads up on the YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to try to access while we're talking here this Goonhammer article and bring up a point so people can see what I'm talking about. Because according to this article, like, I'm still under the impression that the obscuring terrain, like, I'm trying to define and understand true line of sight, basically. And aircrafts and models with 18 wounds or more, the way it's written can just straight up be seen. All right, I'm ready to throw it up on the screen. All right. So right here, let's get, I thought I had it. Damn it, it changed location. Here we go. I'm scrolling, friends.
I see something pulled up.
There we go. All right, so right now he's showing on screen here. I got an Imperial Knight and then a Commander. I just sent a video of what I'm trying to go through. Just restarted computer. Don't know what's up with James, but he's struggling. All right, so Crystal, I got you still. I do. Okay, cool. All right, so we got this Knight. We got this terrain. Here's another image where they're showing an example, and it says here that in this instance. They're talking about, I'd forgive any player for thinking that there's a difference between that can be seen and are visible mean the same thing. They talk about, like, when you're in a piece of terrain, then you can be seen and targeted normally. That doesn't mean you just get to see. So if it's a regular Nova L that's a pure blank wall, just because you go into the terrain doesn't mean you can be seen automatically. It just means that you can be seen and you can be targeted normally if able to. But what it says when you have 18 wounds or more or an aircraft, it says straight up that you just are visible. And even if you can draw a line of sight over the piece of terrain, you ignore that.
Yep.
And so that's the crazy dealio is that I think James is trying to get back in here.
Dude, I'm back.
There he is. Sorry for the restart, James. You made it though, dude.
Yeah, and the camera's working again.
Yeah.
Woo!
Sweet.
Your internet's working, and that's great. I don't know what happened, but we're there.
The internet has been working the whole time. For some reason, the computer itself kicked me out.
We got there though, dude. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I pulled up this Goonhammer article, James, and I'm talking about the 18 wounds or more models and the aircraft rule. And
yeah, tell me these.
And you said Simon was telling you?
No, I said tell me this.
Okay. It's strange, dude. Goonhammer did a great job of making an article that I should put this in the chat, but they break down the ambiguity, because I thought I was crazy for a minute, because like when you're reading these rules, you're like, am I reading this right? Is that how that works? And like I was constantly having a dark cloud of confusion when trying to think of how the terrain works. And it's because if you don't do it right, it's just literally defines the game, And in this instance, it's how dare they show a Necron flyer in a diagram, LOL. Okay, so basically like what it says is that if you are any type of model besides an aircraft or a model with 18 wounds or more, if you get into a piece of terrain that you can be seen and you can be targeted normally. People took that the wrong way and they thought that it means that you put your toe in cover and all of a sudden you're able to be seen and you can see through it. So does it state the wall the commander is by his window or not? I'll state if the wall the commander is by has a window or not. I'll pull that up here in a sec, Scott. Scott's mentioning the same. We were talking about this just before the show started. Scott Hutchings was here playing a match of 9th. But yeah, so it says that if you touch that terrain, even if it's like a Nova L, people were under the impression, out of confusion, that that meant you could see. And that's because when they explain the obscuring rule, they do it in both bullet points and they do it in a written out form. And the long form, the written out form, it's contradicted a little bit by the bullet pointed version. And so here it says, in quote, aircraft models and models of wound characteristic of 18 or more are visible, and can be targeted, which is different than can be seen and targeted. It's not that what it actually is when you step into terrain, it just means that you could be seen if you're able to be seen, and you could be targeted normally. But what it's saying for things with 18 wounds or more, it says straight up that you just are visible, even if this terrain feature is in between it and the firing model. So what that's seeming to, and then right there it says, note that the reverse is not true. And that's what's in this other image. So it's showing that here the commander could see the knight because the knight has more than 18 wounds. But because there's an obstructing piece of terrain in between the knight and the commander, the knight itself cannot see the commander.
Wow.
And they're believing that this is going to get FAQ'd. The other thing we were talking about, James, when you had some bugs out, is that what's so crazy is that if they did in the new chapter proof that I now have in hand, they didn't give us any terrain modifications, any standardization. They didn't tell us how much terrain is supposed to be on the board, what types of terrain is the average or expected amount, and any restrictions of where they go. The only restriction we know is that you can't put terrain on the objective. But we don't necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean, the objective apparently is the size of a poker chip. That doesn't mean you can't put it on the aura of the objective, or does it? It doesn't say you can't put the terrain right next to the fucking board edge. It doesn't say you can't put the terrain right next to each other. You know? So we have a lot of questions, and I was just showing on it says no window. Thank you, Poxus. There's old Todd out there. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so a lot of people are really raising their eyebrows to it, and it makes certain units just really silly when they weren't, you know, like it works fine on like Titanics, it's like easy to swallow, but like a unit like the Gorkanaut, for instance, by the Orcs. There's an Orc Gorkanaut, and it's you know, a busty model, but it's 18 wounds exactly, and now this thing can always be seen. Hey, Dan, were you mentioning a Sisters of Battle unit that's like a Dreadnought size? Somebody was.
The Triumph of Saint Catherine. Yep.
Yeah, that thing is 18 wounds, and it's the size of like a normal Dreadnought. So
it's bigger than a normal Dreadnought.
Well, it's specifically screwed. You know, it's a little weird, basically, and they need to
It's also pretty hard to kill, except for the fact it's toughness 3.
I don't know this model at all. I've just heard that it was it is a model that didn't look like, you know, it's small. It's a small profile model.
Yeah, it's literally like 6 people walking around with a coffin.
Yeah,
like.
I guess I'm getting at, and maybe it's really hard to kill in respect to that. Morkanaut necessarily is it. I mean, some big things, as we know, they can die. You know, if they can be seen, they can die. But when we say that, here's the thing too, is we showed those Tyranid articles where people are like, do they suck now in points? But just like myself, there's been a lot of big pendulum swings and opinions before actually getting our hands dirty, you know? And like, you know, the counter to the fact that you can see those models, well, strategic reserves, man, is crazy. And like, so even where I'm concerned that people, like, I had kind of a eureka today when I was thinking about, damn, shooting is so nerfed because obscuring seems so powerful and the player place terrain seems so powerful, but strategic reserves is so powerful. You can pretty much guarantee delivery of line of sight and like target priority with a shooting unit now with strategic reserves.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Warp Charge Major with Larry Oliver, one of his strategies was literally using a drop pod exocrine because he wanted to always guarantee that shooting lane.
Right.
And I mean, that's literally something you now have the ability to do without any kind of delivery system because it's just a command point thing.
I've been seeing that I think it's more required than we're expecting for how if everything is if I'm playing the game right with the terrain and shit and how much is on there with my guesstimations. And I've been doing Adepticon rules pretty much, you know, keep it 4 inches from other terrain pieces, and we do 3 inches from the edge because the board's so small. Check out this example image here of this Indominus box that we got painted up here at Battlegrounds. This actually is this is from the new kit. GW put out basically a 1,000-point board. It's like 2 kill team boards in a package, right? So like $40, you get 2 kill team boards that are double-sided and go together. And so when you play a 500 or 1,000-point game, you just play with these 2 boards. So that's like half a board there for a 500 or 1,000-point game. I forgot where I was going with that, but the boards are cool. And I like them. I guess I'm just excited. I've been thinking about doing 500-point or 1,000, maybe 1,000-point event with Crusade rules here at Battlegrounds, just to give new players a way to get introduced to 9th edition. I played somebody today that I was just so proud of them because over the quarantine period, I met them right before quarantine, and they had pretty much painted up almost 1,600 points in Sisters of Battle since when I seen them last.
Oh, hell yes, man.
But never played a game though still. And they'd read the 8th edition core rule, but they had still never played a game besides one demo with me and were scared to play 9th. I was like, dude, let's just play. And it was funny how that player, I got to see somebody who had only played one game of 8th and read the core of 8th, who was nervous to play 9th. Literally, that was the same game. I mean, all the rules of their army, it's the same thing. There's just
And
caveats.
honestly, yeah, I mean, I know that he'd probably done more than his fair share of homework for 8th edition, but like, it's best for him to get into that new edition,
Exactly.
like before he gets too attached to 8th. Like
100.
It's the game is going to change, but not enough. And I mean, you know, like I think a lot of us, like you were characterizing, a lot of people are apprehensive seeing these points changes and like, oh, my army's nerfed or this or that. But like, even on the Warhammer community page, they had a few really big names like Reese Robbins and I think not Matt Ward. God, I can't think of the other guy's name. Matt something. You know, these are like well-known like tournament figures, and you know they were saying like literally almost verbatim like what I expect to happen is at first monsters and vehicles are going to get good, and then people are going to react to that, and they're not going to be good, so you're going to see less of them, and then it's going to swing back that way. Like
Yeah.
that is the way this game kind of works a little, especially in the index era, which I think is almost the era we're entering with 9th. I could be wrong, but
Oh, I think so. I mean, well, there's certain units where you just have to accept we're in the index land. Like my buddy Dan's been trying to rock orcs, and I've been doing a lot of orc list building for 9th edition. And it's been interesting because he's been having a challenging time, but he's been trying maybe not the non-traditional orcs. Gazgul seems to make a little bit more sense, but particularly like a unit like the Gretchen, dude. A Gretchen is 50 points for a unit of 10 now. If you compare that to the 54 points untouched Nurglings, it's ridiculous. You can compare it to a lot of units. It's 3 points less than an Orc Boy.
I think Nurglings are really good.
Nurglings are stupid good. 54 points that didn't even change for 12 wounds, 5 up invuln, 5 up field and pain that you can put Miasma Pestilence on and give Warp Surge 4 up invuln. Come on. And the new
and forward deploy.
And infiltrate, and the new Nurgling strategy that on a 5 up every phase you can bring one back. Come on. 4 wounds a base, 4 attacks, 4 up to hit. I'll take it. It can get kind of gross. You can bring characters too to give them advance and charge. Fuck it. Dude, we've been joking about one of the troll lists about bringing, just nothing but Nurgling. And if you can bring 111 Nurgling bases in 2K, and it's like over 400 some wounds. Like you literally win.
Yeah.
Truly.
And especially with the main missions, like not having killing more as any kind of incentive. It's just very much like. Hey, you got to score these objectives. I mean, you can take the one of the secondaries is attrition. I mean, that was something that kind of surprised me, honestly, looking at the match play packet or whatever it is, the tournament missions.
Yeah. They
really didn't, from what I saw in limited quantities, elaborate as much on secondaries as I thought they would. I mean, there was some cleaned up wording.
They added a few and they changed a few. Like it used to be, they had grind them down. and now it's bring them down, and it was basically kill more every battle round. In the core rulebook, it's 4 points every turn you kill more. In the chapter approved, it's 3 points every time you kill more, for instance, you know. But there's tiny little changes. There's some obvious breadwinners in there. You know, there's like some secondaries that just suck. It's not a great secondary list, and it's probably the most like poo-pooed on by people that check it out. I don't mind the missions. I like the score mechanic at the end of the beginning of your next turn. I think that's good. But yeah, the secondaries are a little weak. Another sad part about chapter approved, guys, we did not get a Supreme Commander list. And not only did we not get a Supreme Commander list, but remember that rule Field Commander? Remember specialist attachments? Yep. Well, those are gone.
Oh my God, that's such a big blow to so many armies. I know Imperial Guard are reeling, Gene Stealer Cult is reeling. I mean, you know, like, wasn't Flawless Host part of that, or am I wrong about that?
No, it was Flawless Host was traditionally taking a specialist attachment called the Soul Forge attachment.
That's what it was.
And that was the +2 to charge Master the Soul Forge Warlord trait that you would spend Field Commander on. And it gave them advance in charge, and it gave them +2 move.
Yeah,
and
some armies lived and died on those Vigilus
100, especially these Gene Stealers. You know, that reroll charge +1 to wound strat was like, you built whole armies on that shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally, I didn't do well with it, but that was the strategy I was rocking at the Warp Charge Major.
Sure.
Rocking like 140 Acolytes.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't get that anymore?
Yeah, they're gone.
Correct.
Now
they are not usable in match play.
Here's the thing that pisses me off. I haven't got to comb through the chapter approved like tooth and comb. The fact that I have to annoys the shit out of me, because I've read the core rule book like 3+ times now, right? The actual book in my hand. And now in the chapter approved book, it's literally a copy paste of the rules in the core, but there's these little fucking boxes that say no specialist attachment, and oh, by the way, you can't come in beyond turn 3 in strategic reserves. And I'm like, okay, this whole time in core rule book, I'm like, cool, we can come in beyond turn 3. Cool, you know, specialist attached, whatever. But like, I don't care if these rules are in here. I don't mind those rules. I just want them to be front and center. Hey, this is why you bought this book. This shit's in this book and not in that book. I don't want to comb through the copy pasted rules and find this new little addition and potentially skip over it.
Sounds like it's garbage already.
It's aggravating. It's indexy. It's GW. The thing is that like,
how do you get someone into the hobby then?
I know, right?
Like how?
As far as
you have to go buy 4 books before you can play the game, and don't mention like, hey, some of these books are going to be outdated soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the financial situation of it all, the way that they keep on taking, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I can go on a tangent for that forever, but at the same time, it is what it is, and here we are. And it's the 9th edition is cool, but it's annoying, and because of the distrust that GW's built amongst its consumers, because of how much they just fuck up on crazily on their rules, we can never trust whether they intend to do something or not. So let's talk about intention real quick. Because, so like I was talking to my boy Austin, we played a game the other day, right? And I was like, all right, Austin, we're playing this tournament league match. Yo, I'm gonna just tell you right up front that I plan on abusing this rules as written 9th edition rule, where I got Murderfang and Bjorn, and because they're both vehicles and they're both characters, they make each other not be able to be seen unless they're the closest enemy model. Same way that 2 Demon Princes rules are written, they're both monsters, so, you know.
Or the Blackstone Fortress Zote, which is a character under 10 wounds and has the monster keyword.
Excuse me, yeah, right, bring him in there. But yeah, if you're a monster and a character, you know, basically the way the Lookout Sir reads is if you're within 3 inches of a monster or a vehicle, you can't be targeted unless you're the nearest enemy. And the only caveat is that characters don't block characters when determining who's the closest enemy model, not whether determining Lookout Sir is an effect or not. And basically that's according to the rule. I don't know how they intended that. It seemed like too obvious of an oversight for it not to be on purpose, but it also seemed like certain armies got to abuse it more. Like there's a bunch of monstrous demon characters, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely at least 1 or 2 oversights, though, because, I mean, doesn't the Brotherhood of Psychers for, like, Thousand Sons just not work now?
Exactly, right. So there's definitely more than one. And when we talk about, like, apparently Smite's fucked up where the rules is written, you can take multiple Smites per a Psyker and cast it over and over. Rules is written, Greyhood, Brotherhood of a Psyker from Grey Knights and Thousand Suns don't work. Rules is written, you can, a drop pod used to be able to be charged and now you couldn't shoot the enemy, but you spin the fallback stratagem and now the drop pod blows up. And
that's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. So,
Wait,
I was...
what? You have to
Okay.
explain that one a little further.
Yeah, so we pretty much have 3, if not 4, main things that I would consider rules that seem dumb. And first to finish the thought real quick, is that Austin was basically letting me know that Mike Brandt had kind of made it clear to the community, like tongue-in-cheek, like laughing at these stupid rules that people were coming up with and saying, hey, anything that sounds dumb, this is the classic GW fashion, tongue-in-cheek, anything that sounds dumb will not be a thing on day 1 FAQ. And I was like, okay.
They've told me that before.
I've heard that before. But apparently the character rule is one of those, that it's going to be one of those dumb rules. So we actually didn't play it that way because he doesn't think it's going to be a thing. If they don't FAQ monsters and vehicle characters being able to block each other out, then 100, I'm going to run that to the bank. But the one that we were just talking about, James, is there's a 2 CP strat now. It's the strat that lets people not be tri-pointed. Like, you can't try-point somebody now because if they can't fall back out of a position, then they can just kill that model that's stuck in the tri-point position, right?
Yeah.
And if they can't escape fall back, then they just kill the models until they do. Well, if it's like, say, a drop pod, and you do
or
it
a pylon,
that's where it gets funny. But you do it on a drop pod, and now the drop pod just goes away. You maybe rolls a 6 and explodes. You do it on something with an atomic explosion, like a pylon. Now on a 4+ is doing like a 2d6 explosion with 6 damage and shit. For doing this,
your fallback distance is 0, but you have a movement characteristic as part of the crux of that argument. But you can only move 0, and the way that stratagem reads is if you can't fall back out of engagement range, you just die.
Yeah. It doesn't say that you have to have the ability to move. It just says that if you have not yet chosen a model to move, then you can use it on it. And of course I didn't choose the drop pod to move because it doesn't fucking move. Seems stupid. But also it doesn't seem stupid, because like, is it stupid that you can do that? A drop pod was like, I've had a drop pod hit me in the ass because like, oh shit, now I can't shoot my enemy because I just delivered my army. They're like, I pile into the drop pod, now you can't shoot me your whole turn because you can't fall back. That sucks too. And it makes the drop pod actually against the person that's using it, but that's just something you played around, But is that dumb? I don't know, it could be, it's kind of gamey. So maybe they meant it, maybe they didn't. The fact is we can't trust them because they fuck up all the time. I'm just saying.
I just love that this, at least to me, this particular fuck up is like very cinematic. Like I can definitely, like in my mind, picture like them rigging a drop pod or a pylon up to like blow up or something.
Oh yeah.
Just do it. Just nuke it.
I like it. Yeah, I'm okay with that one. I think a drop pod is surrounded by enemies, self-destruct is a viable tactic. Me too. I mean, like, I'm down with that one. I am. I wish that it was just like a self-destruct stratagem for vehicles or something. That'd be tight. I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chance that you might do damage. Otherwise, you don't.
But the thing that makes it awkward is that it doesn't feel intuitive. Like, it's not cut and dry. And it's like, is it that way? And when we have to ask that question mark, as a tournament organizer who has to come to a table and make a referee call, I hate rules that I can't put my finger on all the way. And if one person's like, that doesn't feel right, when there's guesswork on, did they mean to do that? Is that just stupid? Is that going to be an FAQ? Should we check the FAQ? That's so annoying. And that's where I love when the FAQ, man, like James, I just showed Chris this awesome website called Wahapedia. I wanted to show that. I was showing that to Scott, my good friend and a latest Patreon member. Thank you, Scott, for joining. The coolest new site I've ever found. My buddy showed it to me today. I'm probably a Zoomer myself. I don't know. I'm 34, but my young friend showed me this website today. I was like, damn, Zoomer, this is some amazing 40K tech. It's called Wahapedia, okay? And you can type in anything. Like, I'm gonna say demons right now. And the sick thing, demons. Here we go. You can put in any faction, your opponent, or maybe I'm a judge going up to a table, And it tells you, one of my favorite features, it has the contents and it'll take you anywhere on the site, but it'll tell you all the different books that you have access to as this type of player, when that book came out, all the FAQs that go to your particular stratagem in one place, all of your abilities, all your fucking data sheets. But then the best part that's like a resource that you don't have otherwise is it automatically will show you all your stratagems by phase. So you can look up anyone's army and it instantly shows you, here's all the strats in the movement, the psychic, the shooting, here's all the strats that can be done when you're targeted, here's all the strats in the enemy's turn, here's all the strats you have for feel no pain and taking casualties, here's all the strats you have for morale. That is so fucking convenient. And as a person that makes, and look, here's all the strats with hyperlink keywords that, look, I can even hover my mouse over it, it just tells me all the shit that has this keyword. That's so cool.
That's insane.
Dude,
I appreciate the programming someone put into that.
Oh my god, I'm hovering over Nurgle Demon and it's showing me everything in the Chaos Demon book that has the Nurgle Demon keyword capability. That is fucking sick. Dude, I'm stoked on it because I haven't used that before, and I've made all these little custom spreadsheets to learn my rules. Yeah, I'm gonna copy paste this into the chat there for you guys so you can easily go there. Wahapedia is my new best friend, both in tournament play and for my own list building cheat sheets and shit. But yeah, go type in any faction, Tyranids, Wahapedia, and just the stratagems by phase is huge. Earlier today, we were like, somebody used an impulsor, and we were like, oh, what's an impulsor do? Just typed in impulsor, Wahapedia, instantly data sheet, all their special rules. Fucking cool. Warhammerpedia. I'm calling it Wahapedia, but man, I see what you mean. Warhammer is what it's going for. Warhammerpedia. Very nice.
Hail the Wah.
Very nice. No, that's super cool. Oh, I see that, James. Wahapedia World Eaters, baby. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff, right? Yeah, and that's what's, it would be wonderful if we had, say, in this GW app that we haven't fucking seen, another trust issue we have with this company that seems to make all the money but drop all the fucking balls. Excuse me. Where's our app, guys? Somebody was cracking me up earlier, said like they made more money than like some natural gas company in the UK last year. And like they can't fucking, you know, get a rules team to figure out their shit. I was talking like why it seems like either, okay, because apparently that, you know, they have all these play testers, and these play testers obviously see the shit we see, and then they don't do anything about it because they've already gone into some publication. Because I'm like thinking like, how the hell don't they have some passionate player that's either a tournament player who's reading all the same shit we read on Facebook and competitive 40K groups, or is just realizing it? It was a no-brainer, instantaneous thought to say, oh, the way that this rule reads, I can put two demon princes next to each other and be invisible. Oh yay, Bjorn and Murderfang. Oh yay, Chaplain Dread, whatever. You know what I mean? There's just like easy cheese rules that don't get, like if we don't get certain rules addressed, or just the way that the tournament, the terrain rules aren't broken down for us, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. But, you know, we could not have models. I don't like to rant too hard because I've also seen the internet and the argument go the other way. They're like, if you're gonna bitch so much, just quit. Go home. You know?
God bless the internet.
Go play some other game then. You don't like it. Sounds like you don't got enough money to have fun. Pretty much. I got more miles than you, you motherfucker. This game's stupid sometimes.
George has literally sold more models than most people ever have in their life.
James, you didn't see it, but I just showed the whole model wall when I said that. It was funny. I'm just, excuse my salt. I'm excited. If I didn't make it clear, let me turn the piano music up, put on those positive vibes, because it's going to be good times, ladies and gentlemen. 2021, we will have fun again, I swear. Michael,
I have to wait 6 more months.
My God. And here's hoping anyways. James Sheet said nice, yeah. I like it too. My bros are over there playing the Indominus box set right now. They're gonna see how that match goes out. I was surprised there's actually 1,000 points of Primaris there, dude.
You're 1,000 points of Primaris. How about that?
Let's, you know, Space Marines, dude. Those are some sons of bitches, aren't they? Man, let me tell you.
They are.
I'm still just so mad about those melter rifles.
Hey, you know what I'm mad about? And I was thinking about it today.
Yeah. What?
The Khorne can't advance in charge besides the Burning Talisman. And they took away the bike lord that would use the Burning Talisman. They took him away.
What?
You made me a special custom model just for it.
It's just so sad. It's so sad to me.
I'm getting them, James. I'm getting my little model in remembrance of how sad it is. You
And
gave him
you
a
can
Thunder
and
Hammer?
then you're gonna throw him at the nearest person next to you and say,
Oh.
"Take this garbage."
Is he literally Legends now, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. You know what? You know what was interesting? Here he
No,
is.
no. See, you're not getting the point. Space Marines Primaris just got bikes, bro.
Yeah,
and they
right.
took away our dude with the bike.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting though is that the Orcs actually got one of their Legend units back. Because what happened with Orcs whenever the new Codex came out is that Big Mechs, where you used to be able to take the Big Mech as the cheapest HQ with a shield on his back, and now you can only take it on like a Mega Knob force field. It was way more expensive. And then they took away the War Boss on a bike, which is basically our Chaos Sword on a bike. Well, they gave it back in Chapter Approved. They actually think 2 units that got moved to Legends already in 8th got brought back in 9th in Chapter Approved, which is kind of neat.
They can bring a War Boss on a bike now.
They can. They got brought back.
Dude, when our buddy Matt Simon hears this, he is going to jump for joy.
And you can bring a regular Big Mac again with a force field.
Wow.
Yep. So hey, they have gone back and brought units back from the dead after going over to the fucking Legends graveyard, like our poor man on a bike here.
The Legend is alive and well.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, Legends. Can't say that without dropping an F-bomb sometimes, especially RIP on our Chaos Sword on a bike, Thunderhammer, baby. This model is sweet, man.
One of our commenters, Zanian, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's asking, what's a faction that didn't get a lot of love in 8th that we expect to get a lot of love in 9th? My first thought is Death Guard.
Oh, Death Guard.
Dude, Necrons.
They got a new box. Games Workshop has done their part for the Necrons.
They haven't. They still have the Silent King coming out, the Big Walker
That's
thing.
true.
Like, they have the Void Dragon coming out. Like, dude, the Psychic Awakening's just now ending because the Necrons ended it. Like, they are literally the new bad guys. Like, that's the biggest, boost ever.
Well, you know what's funny? One of the new products that is coming out for with the release here, along with the new paint and shit, it's not labeled as a Necron movement thing, but they gave you there's a new 40K movement widget, right? But weirdly, it's not fucking a 6-inch stick; it's a 5-inch stick. And you're like, what the hell, you bastards? And then you're like, well, Death Guard, Necrons, Nurgling, pretty much all Nurgle shit moves 5, Orcs move 5. So it's the movement stick for those boys.
That's bullshit, because Necrons can auto-advance 6 with a certain dynasty.
It's a stupid movement. I'm trying to give it some, I'm trying to figure it out. It's dumb.
All bullshit, and you know it.
It's dumb. Do you guys got
I've got only
movement
5
stick anywhere? That 5-inch movement stick? Oh, it should be right on that stuff? I'm getting my homies to show it to me. I want to see this show you guys this whack thing. Thank you. Yeah, here we go. Dang, I don't have my 6-inch to show you side by side, but you're like, why? Okay, here we go. Yeah, cool, a new movement stick. I'll take it. Oh, but only 5 inches? I was like, what if they, think how trolly it would be if GW made all auras now 5 inches instead of 6.
Oh, God.
That'd be so trolly. Makes me laugh. When you want to make
right there is trolly.
They already made the board smaller. Let's do more. Let's do more asshole things for no reason. Oh, here we go. 6-inch. This is people probably don't care as much as I do, but 6-inch stick that makes all the sense. 5-inch stick that's hard to measure with. It's confusing, okay? Hey, it has a 1/2 inch though. My stick doesn't have a 1/2 inch mark, and you need to be able to measure that now for it. I see boxes out there. Yeah. Oh Lordy, I don't know.
So many disappointed ladies now.
It's funny and weird, and I don't know. But yeah, I'm having fun in 9th edition, and that's the shit. Oh man, people are going crazy now. Yuck. Oh, we're children on here. It's great. All right, I've had fun with 9th edition. It's been a good time. Are you guys excited to play some 9th and feel it out? Is there anything that your opinions have changed on from when you first were checking out 9th that you're kind of like, huh, maybe this is a little different than I thought now?
No, because I don't know if I can bring a Bloodthirster as like a warlord and then still have world eaters.
You can't, James. I'm sorry.
That's all bullshit, and I hate this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it. There's no supreme commanders listed in chapter approved.
That's all bullshit. That's literally what I was looking forward to.
So let's talk about it some more. You wanted to be able to get your CP refunded if you took a corn detachment. Right? What are you trying to do, James? Because you can kind of do what you want. What were you saying again?
I just want my pure corn, dude. And I just want to bring one Bloodthirster and not have to bring a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, you can bring a World Eater detachment and then bring a corn patrol. And
Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself, George?
You could summon it. You could either summon it or you got to spend 2 CP, basically.
You hearing yourself, George?
Yes. You can do it.
Are you telling me exactly what I want, or are you just bullshitting me right now? Because it sounds like you're just bullshitting me with some bullshit I don't want.
It's a little of both.
It's like the worst car salesman tries to make you settle on a car.
There's a chance.
Yeah, I think you'd like this one. It's fine. Corn's gonna be great.
No, bro, I have not seen anything that's gonna excite me. Unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry, James. There's nothing to be super pumped on.
Dude, I just might play Necrons, you know?
I will say, James, today I did play a Demons, and I'm going to be playing Demons on the channel coming up in the next Bat Reps we do. I'm ready to transition.
Soul Grinders?
Oh, yeah, wait. I did have a Soul Grinders list, and I was going to play Demons, then I made that crazy fucking Lord of Skulls Brass Scorpion list. But I played Demons today in a chill game, and the thing that was fun is I got to advance and charge Flesh Hounds, and I got to move through walls like infantry. That was cool. You know, it's cool.
Do you hear yourself, George?
Yeah, it was cool, James. I put Blood Crushers and Strategic Reserve.
Oh, dude. Awesome, bro.
Different, you know?
Awesome.
Corn units.
Dude, why can't they just make corn units cheaper? Because, like, he does not care about the blood. So, like, just let them all be cheaper. So I can just have a massive horde of bodies.
I really like this chill Friday jazz music while you talk about how sad corn makes you, James. It's nice.
I've been fishing a lot lately, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Catching the big
if
ones?
you're not happy with the tabletop, just go fight some fish.
Maybe you need this 5-inch widget to check the legal limit of your fish size.
Dude, my hook's bigger than
that. Okay. Well, if you do need a 5-inch sheet stick, you get it at Battlegrounds, friends. Thank you.
Excellent plug.
Thank you.
Bro.
It's the jazz that got me being silly. You guys can hear it right now. It's saucy. Yeah.
I will say one of the things going into 9th edition that out the gate I'm disappointed with, that I was not expecting to be disappointed with, is, and you know, Games Workshop has time to surprise me still. When they repointed everything, I was expecting them to have more of an involved touch in changing up Forge World stuff. Are we still getting a new, index for them?
Like, okay, for the biggest unit that's an example to that is the Relic Leviathan. That thing didn't even barely change, dude. It didn't. I don't even think it did.
The Hellforged version got messed up though. They nerfed it. It's like 450 points.
That's what they should have done to the Imperium one. What are they doing?
But they didn't. They only nerfed the Chaos one.
Come on! That's exactly how much the Imperium one should be. It should be 400 plus points. It's still like 305, 320, and it's stupid good. The freaking Iron Hands one is still damn near unkillable.
Yep.
So what's the point of the Catan?
What's the point of a Catan?
What's the points? I haven't seen the updated points.
Where'd I put it? Oh, it's right here. A Catan. Is it Catan Forge World? I thought that was GW.
Nope, no, they're GW. Wait, are they really? They're fine casts.
It's Forge World.
Damn. Yeah, I thought I knew the big Tesseract arcs and shit were. Well, are they Forge World Tesseract arcs? Yeah. Here we go. Forces Xenos, Craft World, Harlequins, Necrons, but I'm going to Catans. Catans aren't going to be in the HQs. Are they super heavies?
I think they're.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Super
they're
heavy.
super heavies.
A Tesseract Vault is GW.
No, I'm talking about my Catan.
Yeah.
For
Oh, a
PS based
Catan?
game.
Oh, it didn't change, dude.
It didn't change points?
It's like 430 or some shit. 435. Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's still the same. Yeah, that's the fucking Brass Scorpion. I was taking a 425 point Brass Scorpion, or Lord of Skulls, excuse me, and it's 465 now. A Brass Scorpion was at 550, went to 600. So like we went up hardly at all.
I just understood what James was talking about. He's talking about the Chaos Knight.
Me too.
Catan.
I thought he was talking about a Necron one too. I was too. No, I checked out the Catan already for when I was building my list. I'm about to do it again. But yeah, I think he was 435 if I recall correctly. Anything else people are curious
No.
points on? Okay. Forge World points. Yeah, it's pretty wild and crazy though. Chaos racism,
Yeah.
foxes.
Yeah, the Tyranids were barely changed. There were some small hikes, but like part of the problem with, at least in my opinion, with the Tyranid Forge World is that they, like many other Forge World units, just have really bad rules.
Yeah, they barely touch these guys. Yeah, the Chitin Ravager is 430 and the Gatling gun is 0 points. Yeah, there's the, what is it? The, I just lost my thought on that one. Never mind. Chaos Decimator, 100 points, that's cheap as shit. I don't know. They barely touch Forge World and I'm still curious. And that's where like, you're like, what are you guys thinking right now? We don't know.
I wonder how they're going to handle publications with Forge World at all. Like, are we going to get a new index? Are they going to roll those units out in new codexes? Like, what's
Why
the
do
story?
the indexes have to continue forever?
I know. See, you know, the interesting thing, like I was Infinity to compare. One of the ways that they keep the balance of the game is when they do come out with a new edition, they do release all the rules simultaneously. It's like everyone gets a new codex at once. And it's the same thing they did with the Index State. Like 8th edition Index State was much more of a level playing field than 9th edition Index State is, I would say.
Yeah.
I think we're still in the same power creep we existed in, with a few guys dropping down and a few guys going up, but Marines are still kicking ass, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's some curveballs here and there. Like Death Guard got really good all of a sudden.
Custodes.
Custodes, or like of course.
Space Wolf certainly got
Swinging up.
boosted. I mean, any faction that never took a detachment for additional faction keywords, and especially factions that didn't take additional detachments just to get more characters, those are the ones that shine. Anybody that can have one faction keyword and slide into a single battalion is kicking ass. And there's, Custodes, Death Guard, Sisters of Battle, Space Wolves. These are armies that only have that one faction keyword, only need one battalion often.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I just want to use one faction keyword also.
Yeah,
but I can't.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, that doesn't work that way for everybody. And
Yeah.
And it's the armies that have the ability to soup still seem to have a lot of power when you soup. There's just the cost of CP, and it's just about resource management.
But that contradicts Corn though, because we are souping, but don't have the power, because we're souping from the leftover bullshit.
I feel you, man. I feel you. All I can,
I used to like hanging out with you guys on Thursdays, man. You guys just make me depressed. I was happy before this shit. Like, what? Talk to Simon, he's all happy, like, oh, Necrons are fantastic. Woo, the game. And I'm like, yeah, woo, nice, woo, good job, woo. And then you guys are like, yeah, but you fucking suck.
Bruh. Yeah. Well, I've experienced that with other folks too, man. And that's where I know what you mean when it's just different, and you gotta get creative. I don't think
I'm gonna get creative when it's all out.
Yeah.
I don't get a dime until it's all released.
I don't really feel like I can truly. There's still so much to experiment with, and we love to believe that GW put enough thought into their rules that there's some hidden mechanics to every faction to play it successfully, and we just haven't figured it out yet. You got to believe there's just one more list away from a winning combination. Right, James?
Yes.
Yeah, we're almost there, buddy. Almost
I'll
there.
club a baby seal still. Don't you worry.
Necrons suck, dude, right now at the moment. Oh.
Necrons are fantastic.
I just reading the comments, bro. I just looked up. My friends are playing Necrons right next to me. He's like, hands out, like, oh, dude, what the fuck? Man, you know what was funny, guys? This fucking Frontline Gaming Art of War coaching fucking sponsored ad I got. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but there's this one thing where they say, if you care about your tournament career, you'll take this training now. Do you want to be a tournament champion or a tournament clown? It says that.
Wow.
I know. I was like, what the? I want to blast. I already said the name and everything. I should just keep on blasting him, but I sure was insulted in how cheesy and sleazy it was.
Someone's taking fun seriously.
Yeah, James, you need to sign up with these cats. I'm going to show it. Just this one line here. Here it is. We'll check this out. Your tournament win is within reach. You got to say it like Randy Savage. All you have to do is make the decision, brother. That level of intentionality is what we're looking for in our students. It's the difference.
Oh my God, is that post that big?
Yes,
oh my God,
it's huge. It's the difference in tournament champions and tournament clowns.
Yeah.
That's no joke. People are trolling them. It's funny. I don't know. I couldn't believe how fucking scam artisty there got, or just how telemarketery. I don't know. Man, people are crazy. You better get your 9th edition training because your army doesn't suck. It's about you. You need to decide you want to win, brother. James is like, I'm the fuck out of here. I'm done with this shit.
Dude, you guys want to talk about like Infinity or something? I guess. Like fuck.
Don't worry, James.
We got
It's been
60
an hour.
seconds.
Yeah, we're out of here, bro. Are you sure Connor didn't write that, Michael? Woo! Oh, good times.
Savagery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Guys, I hope the moral of this episode, 111, I think that's the number, is just to not give up and keep believing. Keep on believing.
Play Tyranids. Tyranids
Yeah.
are great.
You gotta, yeah, dude, I wish I would have just kept going with like that, what is it, not Foreigner. What was that guy, the U2 like guy? I needed the lyrics to that song just to keep on going. Don't stop believing.
Journey.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to just quote the Journey lyrics right there as I closed out with like that nice, oh, it would have been good. Anyways, you guys, it was cool.
Yeah,
I had
we
fun.
did stuff.
It was fun seeing people hang out with us in the chat today.
Hey, you guys got to see my salt tears.
Yep, Salty Tears.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. I just accidentally pulled up the Battlegrounds Discord. There is a Battlegrounds Discord now. If you guys want to go join into the fun, there's a lot of good conversation on there.
Get in those pods.
That's right. Join the pods. Yeah, Pod 7 is now active and looking for more players to fire off. 9th edition is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
also, I saw Battlegrounds is doing a promotion. They will buy half of your Indominus box, apparently, and give
Yes.
you a good rate.
Oh, it's badass. Yeah, we're ready to go. I thought it'd be a great idea to just be ready to help people. We buy, sell, and trade used gear. Let's people that are ready to, get rid of the other half of their box, so they're just trying to get the Necrons or the Marines, and we'll take them, And you need to get chapter approved anyway. So, hey, I'll trade you a chapter approved for your half of the box. Easy peasy. Pretty good deal.
Everything must go.
Well, not everything. Yes, okay. You guys are awesome. Yeah, everybody out there, keep taking fun seriously, and we'll catch you next week or very soon.